Welcome to another quick tips video for Affinity Photo. Today's question comes from a viewer, Shedrick Duval, who asks, could you show us how to edit a portrait using frequency separation and the mixer brush? Sure, we can look at that, although I don't really use the mixer brush, but I'll show you what I do instead. So here I am in Affinity Photo, and I have this portrait here. And a very common use of frequency separation is to clean up the blemishes in a portrait. Now, frequency separation is a destructive operation. So the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate my layer here, just so I have a backup copy of the original. So with the layer selected, I'll press Ctrl J. I'll call the old one original, and I'll just turn off the visibility. Now I'll select the image here. And the way we access frequency separation is through filters, frequency separation. So I'll click that. And now we get this control here. Now there's two sides to this view here. The left side is the high frequency area, which is going to show details. The right area is going to be our low frequency area, which is going to mostly show color. Now the main control we have here is this radius. And what I like to do is dial up the radius so that I can start to see details on the left side that I want to remove. So if we scroll down, this seems like a good level where I can actually see things that I want to get rid of in my photo. If I had it too low, they don't really show up there. But I'll turn it up. So now we're starting to get things that I want to get rid of. So I think right there is good for this photo, about 13 pixels. Now I'll click apply. Now it doesn't look like anything's really changed. But what happened is we got two layers in our layer stack here. High frequency and low frequency. So I'll turn off low frequency. The high frequency layer contains our details. You can see that has the linear light blend mode set. That's going to be important later. Let me turn off high frequency. I'll turn on low frequency. Low frequency is just going to be our big areas of color. That's why it looks blurry. It doesn't have the details in it. So the magic happens when we turn on high frequency and it's above the low frequency layer. We have our original image. So the high frequency layer, when it's set to linear light, on top of the low frequency layer gives us our original image back. Now, what's the point of all of this? Well, the cool thing is that we can actually edit out the details of our image while leaving the color data there. So I'll turn off the low frequency layer. I'll select my high frequency layer. And now I'm going to use the Inpainting brush tool. And this is the tool I like to use. Maybe some people use the mixer brush for this or some other brush, but I think Inpainting works quite well. So what I'll do is I'll zoom into my image here and I can start painting out the details that I want to remove. So let's get rid of those. I'll remove this here. I'll remove this here. And now if I turn on my layer below it, you can see those details are actually gone. So I'll show my original image again. This is the original image. And if I show you my touch-ups, this is what it looks like now. So we can do the same thing on our low frequency layer. I'll turn off the high frequency. So now we can start removing the discolored areas. So I'll paint over this with the Inpainting tool. I'll get rid of that area there. Let's remove this. Now you don't want to sandblast people's faces too much. You do want to keep the characteristic there still. But for temporary things like blemishes and all that, this is a good tool to remove them with. Let me turn on the high frequency again. So let's compare it with our original. So before, after, before, after. And we can keep working through our image. There's lots of high detail here that needs to be removed. We can get rid of this. Again, I'm just going over with the Inpainting tool. Sometimes you might want to change the size of your brush. That just adds a little more variety. And of course, you can keep going until you're satisfied with the result. You can even get rid of wrinkles like this here. So I'll get rid of that. So let's compare the original image with the final result. Before, after. Before, after. I went over frequency separation pretty quickly in this video. If you want to know exactly how this process works, check out my longer video and the live stream I did on this topic recently. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.